Home and Away spoilers. Gage catches Theo and Lacey kissing. Next week on Home and Away in the UK. As Theo ignores Sonny's warnings, Gage catches him and Lacey together. How will the River Boys get revenge? Sonny finally makes headway in repairing his relationship with best mate Remy next week, as they share concerns about the dangerous company Theo is keeping. Sonny and Theo have managed to get themselves involved with the latest iteration of the River Boys and their illicit street racing racket. Sonny had been approached by leader Gage in Salt when he overheard him and Theo talking about mechanics. He passed on his number, stating that he'd be happy to give Theo some work if he needed to make some quick cash. Theo's alarm bells started ringing when they agreed to meet with Gage, and he noticed the blood and sand tattoo on his arm. However, any concerns seemed to evaporate when Theo was distracted by a fine specimen in the River Boys compound, a gleaming Falcon XY. And, of course, the attractive girl giving it a polish. Theo was more than happy to help the girl, Lacey, when an issue developed with the car, and the two engaged in some flirty banter. But as they went to leave, Theo noticed Lacey wrapped around Gage and realized he'd been hitting on the River Boy leader's girlfriend. Not that it ended up being much of a deterrent when Sonny and Theo's services were later required at one of the gang's races. After tuning up Gage's car, Theo noticed Gage laying into Lacey for not having been able to organize a replacement driver after dropping their usual one. Theo quickly offered to take the driver's seat, and Gage was thrilled when Theo subsequently won the race. As Gage was distracted, Theo and Lacey slipped away into one of the nearby garages and let their temptations take over. Later handing Theo a wad of cash, Gage expressed his gratitude for helping him out of a tight spot. The amount of cash he received soon got Theo thinking, however, realizing how much he would be able to make if he started racing his own car, which he is currently doing up after taking out a bank loan to buy it. So it was with some frustration only a few days later that Sonny spotted Theo and Lacey making out in her car outside the surf club, in full view of everyone. Luckily for them, the only other person in the vicinity was Kirby, who Sonny quickly diverted away from the car. Sonny told Theo they should back out while they were still ahead, particularly since he'd discovered Theo and Lacey getting dressed following their tryst, but Theo was determined to plow on, telling Sonny that he and Lacey would be more careful. With Theo's car nearly ready, Sonny tried to convince him to sell it in order to make a tidy sum on top of paying off his debt. But Theo was determined to test out his new wheels properly, and asked Gage if he'd be able to begin racing in his own car. Gage initially refused, but some sweet talking from Lacey soon brought him around. Theo's involvement with a River Boy hasn't gone unnoticed, with Justin believing that Sonny has been the one leading Theo astray, unaware that he's the one trying to convince Theo to walk away. Next week, Bree is concerned about Sonny, but Justin and Remy aren't interested in getting involved. Remy is still annoyed at his childhood best friend for drunkenly trying to kiss Bree a few weeks back, which led to him throwing Sonny out. Justin later expressed his concerns about Sonny getting Theo involved with the River Boys to Bree and Remy, whilst Remy sees it as validation that cutting Sonny off was the right decision. Bree thinks it's all the more reason to check in with him. When Bree later meets up with Sonny, she finds him being hassled by Gage and Lacey. Sonny opens up to Bree, admitting the ongoing tension with Remy is more than deserved after what he did. Keen to get things back on track, Bree takes him over to see Remy and leaves the pair to talk things through. Later, Bree crosses paths with Gage and Lacey at the surf club and warns them to back off, making it clear Sonny doesn't need any more drama, but they brush off her concerns without much interest. Back at the house, Remy starts to soften towards Sonny. Seeing that Bree of all people still has Sonny's back makes him rethink things, and he agrees it might be time to move on. During their chat, Sonny brings Remy up to speed on Theo's situation, explaining just how serious things have become and why going to the police isn't an option. They don't yet know how they're going to help Theo, but Bree is happy to see that Remy and Sonny have finally resolved things. Meanwhile, Theo's car is finally finished and he's proud as punch as he takes it on a tour of Summer Bay. Leah and Justin are suitably impressed with Theo's handiwork. He tells them he's got the loan covered and just wants some time to enjoy the car before thinking about parting with it. But Justin's not so sure. He's heard rumors the River Boys are dealing in dodgy car parts. And he's worried Theo might have taken a few shortcuts. When Justin later brings up his suspicions, it doesn't go down well. Theo snaps, insisting that every part in the car is legit and that he needs to trust him. Gage and Lacey are equally as impressed when Theo meets up with them outside the surf club. So much so that Gage immediately wants to buy the car off him. Theo tells him that the car isn't for sale. But Gage isn't keen on taking no for an answer and insists on taking Theo for a drink. Up in salt, Gage wants to talk numbers, offering up to $25,000 for the car. But Theo stands firm. Gage reminds Theo that people don't usually say no to him. But he and Lacey can't help but admire Theo's insistence that he won't sell. Little does Gage realize that whilst his back is turned, Theo is playing footsie under the table with Lacey. Theo's playing a dangerous game. Having spotted Theo's car outside, Sonny finds Theo drinking with Gage and Lacey and asks to have a private word. After Theo explains the reason behind the meeting, Sonny urged Theo to cool things down and, more pressingly, to take Gage up on his offer to buy the car. Theo's not swayed, but offers to buy Sonny breakfast in the morning if he agrees to drop the lectures. Later, behind Theo's back, Sonny takes matters into his own hands, buying Gage a beer and suggesting that he could drive in Theo's place. But Gage isn't interested. He doesn't trust Sonny. He trusts Theo. Meanwhile, with Gage having bailed on her, Theo offers to take Lacey for a ride in his car. When the loved-up pair later pull up at the surf club on their return, they share a final kiss before heading their separate ways. But they're unaware that they've been spotted by Gage. As Gage begins to lose it, are Theo and Lacey now in danger? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.